Bikkuriman World is a port of Wonder Boy and Monsterland for the PC Engine. It was one of two launch titles for the console, the other being Shanghai. Western licensed the game to Hudson, but Sega owned the Wonder Boy rights, so the theme was changed to Bikkuriman instead. Bikkuriman itself began life as a wafer snack during the late 70s in Japan that came with collectible stickers. It also spawned anime and manga down the line. I briefly touched upon this version of the game in my previous Wonder Boy video when I knew very little about it and took a flippant stab at trying to pronounce the name. Bikkuriman World? I doubt I'm pronouncing that right. Whatever. Anyway, I think it's some anime or manga or some shit. Seeing as I've since bought a PC Engine, I've been wanting to get a copy and give this a proper go. Well, I've nabbed one, had a good few blasts on it, and now I want to share my thoughts. Got to start off by saying that this is a brilliant port of the arcade original. The obvious changes are as follows. The title screen has been redone, the protagonist is now Head Rococo, characters that you find behind doors like in shops and so forth have been changed, and the bosses are also changed, but they have the same mechanics as their counterparts. Aside from all that, it's pretty much a damn near exact conversion otherwise. The gameplay is spot on, as is the music, and the graphics are pretty much there too. Of course, the original difficulty is present also, and man, I found this hard as shit, especially compared to the Master System version. This does have what I consider to be a very fair continue option though. When you die and return to the title screen, just hold any direction on the D-pad and press run to continue from the start of the level that you died on with all your gold and equipment intact. Your score and maximum hearts aren't retained, but I guess there has to be some kind of penalty. This, however, gives you the opportunity to grind by racking up gold, dying, and then continuing in order to get better equipment. In levels that sell potions, this can be very useful to get you back on your feet and give you a fighting chance. There are sites online that list this as a cheat, but by whipping out Google Translate on the instruction book, we can clearly see that it states that this can be done. With that, I consider this more of a feature than a cheat, but that's probably because I haven't been able to beat the game without it yet. Wasn't doing any translating while playing though, which presented a bit of a disadvantage. Primarily the boss's question in the pyramid. Couldn't read the hint from the pub, couldn't read the question or answers either, so just kept guessing to see if I got lucky, and if not, had a crack at the boss, which was interesting. Turns out the son of a bitch takes quite a lot of hits. I knew what the equipment sets were due to having memorised the pricing, so that wasn't a problem, though I did make quite the discovery that for some reason I'd never noticed before. The heavy armour is 100 gold, and on the Master System version, I always wondered why there was no penalty for buying it early on instead of the more expensive option, as purchasing either would make the legendary armour available in the next shop regardless. Well, I discovered that it completely knackers your movement here, making you slow off the mark even with the legendary boots equipped, and generally feels very slippery and frustrating. Never noticed this when playing the arcade version, though as it was on the Sega Vintage Collection I was relying on save states a lot to bumble my way through, so I guess it just didn't register in my mind or something. It's possible that I felt a difference, but just put it down to the arcade being more difficult in general. There is no such effect on the Master System version at all, so I just saw it as part of a logical path to get the legendary set, something I always do on my runs through that port. I've noticed a few other differences in this version. In level 3 on the way to the boss door there is no outside section, instead it is just a hall. The level 8 boss is a repeat of the hidden boss that provides you with the legendary sword, removing the guy with the gun or whatever he is from the game entirely. There are no gates on the level exits, so fuck knows what you're using the key on or why you even need it at all. Rococo doesn't knock on the doors to enter them, just goes straight in, making him somewhat ruder than TomTom, aka Bockley Temjin. But the really big thing that stood out to me is how much easier the block lift in the final level is. I previously stated how much I hated this in the other versions. Also, this block jumping lifting is a complete bastard and it can go fuck itself. But here, hardly had any trouble with it at all, so that is a huge plus. Didn't find the last boss too hard either, just shove him to the left, keep hitting him in the head and he'll be trapped for the most part if you get the rhythm right. This marks the only PC Engine game that I currently own that I've actually completed. Yeah, I used the continue feature and quite a lot honestly, but sod it, I'm counting it. This is a really good version and I highly recommend it. Although the Master System port remains my personal favourite due to nostalgia alone, objectively this is a superior port in terms of gameplay. Being realistic though, going through the hoops of getting a PC Engine, the means to hook it up to a modern screen and getting the game itself is probably not for everyone and isn't exactly cheap. The arcade version is available out there in the Wonder Boy collections for the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, so if you own either of those consoles you will get the same, if not better experience there by playing the arcade original instead. But for those who are collecting PC Engine games and want a very good home conversion for the time, this is a great addition in my eyes. Anyway, that's all from me today, just wanted to share my excitement of finally getting the chance to play this. Have a good one you lot, and I'll see you later.